Have you ever noticed that the more expert opinions you listen to, the less certain you feel about your own money? That knot in your stomach when the market dips isn't fear of losing money, it's the fear that you don't actually know why it's happening. You feel like a passenger. Over the last 100 days, the Hedgenomist has grown exponentially. Not because I have a crystal ball, but because we refuse to be passengers. We don't chase tips, we dismantle the machinery of the global economy to see how the gears actually turn. Today, I'm putting our ledger on the screen. We are going to audit the best, the good, and the lessons from our recent calls. And it's not to brag, but to show you the power of structural clarity. If you want to know why thousands of serious investors are moving from hoping to knowing, look at the receipts. Our best work happens when we identify a policy shift before it becomes a headline. This is where math meets reality. On November 27, we analyzed the energy bottleneck. We didn't just guess. We calculated that AI and manufacturing would fail without a baseline power reset. We called for the end of 77-year-old government monopoly. The validation? Weeks later, the winter session of Parliament moved to amend the Atomic Energy Act. The nuclear flywheel we described is now a national policy. AI entropy. While others were debating if AI could write poems, we looked at the chaos tax. We identified India as the implementation capital. Look at the surge in Indian firms automating the back office of the world. We didn't just buy the hype. We bought the efficiency arbitrage. We saw the bridge before the crowd arrived. Some of our good calls weren't about making a killing. They were about keeping what you have actually earned. The IPO audit. We didn't just tell you to avoid certain IPOs. We gave you the 3-quarter rule. We analyzed the OFS data to show you that if the founders are exiting, you aren't really investing. You are the liquidity event. The result? The bloodbath in high OFS listings like Hyundai compared to stability of 100% issues like NTPC Green. In October, the math said wait. The math said FOMO for all and everybody investing in the gold and silver hype. We stayed disciplined. Now, as a global policy shifts towards confusion, our sleeve approach, accumulated on structural dips, is providing the exact shield that we calculated for. We don't trade for excitement, we allocate for peace of mind. But obviously, not everything that we did was correct. And like the famous saying goes, a mathematician who doesn't admit his margin of error is a liar. So on the 8.2% GDP print, I initially over-indexed on the headline. But our follow-up audit was brutal. We stripped the government glucose and the base effect. We realized that while the skin looked healthy, the private muscle was only at 7%. The rate cut pivot. I was 99% sure of the December cut, but when RBI pivoted to liquidity bullets over rate hammers, we adjusted in 24 hours. In this channel, we don't defend an opinion. We follow the data wherever it leads. That's why you must trust us. Let's dive into the fact why the Hedgenomist community is growing so fast. Because 95% of traders who lose money are tired of being lied to by lunchtime lemmings and the Sunday night panics. They come here because they want to understand the trade imbalance with Russia, the volatility math of Bitcoin, and the arithmetic of capital preservation. They stay because we treat them like adults who value logic over dopamine. So we aren't really building a following. We are building an assembly of sovereign investors who use math as their ultimate edge. In the next few months, we will be a sentiment reset. The traps are already being set for those who listen to the noise. But if you are ready to stop being a passenger and start understanding the structural forces moving your portfolio, hit that subscribe button. Join the thousands who have traded hope for calculus. And the numbers really don't lie. But they only speak to those who have ice in their bloods to listen. I have done my audits and it's time for you to start yours. Welcome to the Hedgenomist and thank you for your time. I will hope to see you in the next episode.